Hi, good morning. So I'm in admin mode and I thought I would take a second and talk about, I posted that thing about how your Square now lets you put like a set amount aside automatically from your transactions to a separate savings account. And I thought I should like take a second for any of my fellow, not even just photographers, but like other people who run their own businesses who are like small scale. Like maybe it's just a hobby, maybe it's just a very small scale. It's not a full on small business. Thankfully, I feel like mine finally is. I finally am a small business, but until then, you're kind of in this weird in between where you are like required to pay taxes, but maybe you're not making so much that you feel like, oh, I need to set aside for my 401k. Like if you still have a corporate job and you're just doing a side hustle, you don't necessarily need to do this. But once you transition from the side hustle into the full hustle, or even cut it back to part-time corporate and part-time hustle, you do have to be really responsible with your money because you will owe people. You'll owe them. Okay, so the 4 things I'm going to talk about today are just 4 simple things that you can do if you are a small scale, small business, that you can be more responsible with your money and less stress at the end of the year when you're in tax mode or in just in general, making sure that you have money set aside and you're making your profit first. So I've talked about it before about you have to pay for all of your expenses before you make a profit. But there's also the shift in mindset, which is like you shouldn't invest into your business until you're pulling in a profit. So that's like Profit First, and that's a great book. You should read it. But one of the best things that I found in the last couple months is I've set up a Acorns app. So Acorns is an app that you can set a small amount to be pulled out of your business account every month. So that's the first thing I would say to do is set up a business account, keep your money separate. But Acorns will take out, like it could be $5, $10, $20, whatever feels good in your budget, and it'll pull that amount only. Love it. I'm going to link it. I think that there's like a benefit if I share it and you share it, like it's one of those, but highly recommend regardless. Okay, so it's not letting me link the Acorns refer a person, whatever link. I don't care. Sign up regardless. I don't get $5. I don't care. If you're a small business and you want to set aside money for your future, for your retirement, which I assure you, you do, it is like a stock market thing. So you're investing in the stock market, which is going to go up and down, but long term, that's what everybody's 401ks are in. They're investing in the stocks and they're rotating and you're buying into the capitalism. Fine. You're going to have to do that if you want a retirement. Okay. That's first and foremost. And the second thing that I just found out was that Square is allowing you to have second or third, I don't even know how many, savings accounts. So you have your Square balance, and then when you run a credit card, you can say like take 10% from that transaction and put it into this savings account. Oh, I also want to save for a new camera. Take 10%, 20%, whatever it is that you won't notice. It's a small amount, a percentage, and you're going to set that aside. And so then you're saving for that goal. Last 2 things. So the next thing is to set up an HSA. So the way we have our HSA is because we worked a job that gave us a health savings account. I don't know what that looks like setting up on your own if you've never had another business give you an HSA. But if you've ever worked for a corporation or a company that's given you an HSA, that account is still open. You can still contribute to it. You just need your debit card, your login that came with that HSA. So if you need to follow up with your HR from a previous job, I highly recommend doing that because I'm able to set that money aside and it's pre-tax income. So if I know that I have to pay for my dental work or medical work or whatever that's not covered by insurance, then it's going to come out of my HSA. And actually, we don't even have insurance. I just use the HSA because all the things I want covered by my insurance aren't covered. And so it covers different modalities that wouldn't necessarily be covered. So if you don't have an HSA, look into getting one because you're able to take out that money before taxes. Okay, last one, W-2s. So if you are still working for an employer that gives you a W-2 at the end of the year, you have the ability to withhold more from your checks than your standard amounts. So you can actually go in and check a box that says like withhold X amount of dollars or set it to a savings account, whatever you prefer. But just know that if last year you made a set amount from your job and you had a refund from your taxes, you have a little bit of a buffer. But if you owed last year and now you're making even more with your business, your side business or your growing business, you're definitely going to owe more. So you should be setting that aside from your employer. It's already so much easier for your employer to do it because they already do payroll. They're already doing that for you. So that math is already calculated. You can reverse engineer how much you're going to owe and then just break that up between, your 26 biweekly paychecks or whatever. But that's definitely the way that I have found is easy to keep that money separate and set aside and paid towards taxes so that I don't have to do as much math at the end of the year for what I owe. Okay, I think I said all of the ones that I wanted to say. I'm obviously not like a financial advisor in any means or any way. Like I have my own money struggles and everything, but these are the ways that I found that have prepared and like helped keep my money safe so that I actually have access to the money that I need when I need it. And I think it's something that small business owners should just share freely. It's not necessarily something that you have to go pay an advisor to get that information. If you go pay an advisor, they're going to give you a lot more resources and a lot more information, but this is just kind of general knowledge that you can share between friends. So obviously do your research, figure out exactly what you want to do and how you want to do it. But those are my top 4. So the Acorns app, highly recommend. I've even had to pull money out of there for like small emergencies, and that money is sent to you within 2 to 3 days. So it's like not cryptocurrency, it's like legit stocks, and it's able to get pulled out when you need it. And then the other things are the Square savings, HSA, and your W-2 withholdings. So make sure you're doing